And just like that, we were in Korea. So after a 13-hour flight from LA directly to Incheon, I hopped on the express train and ended up in the center of Korea. And that night got some bibimbap and got ready for the Aptos event. So it's day one of the Aptos Experience, and I'm incredibly psyched to be here in Seoul. I'll show you the view in a second, but if I look tired, it's because of the Aptos VIP night last night, which was a super fun time. But I'm about to head to the conference and see some excellent speakers and hopefully get some podcast interviews, so it should be an awesome time. And let me take this moment to shout out the Aptos team for an incredible event, phenomenal production, and taking very good care of us the entire time. We had good food, drinks, accommodation the entire time, and we're just worried about doing our job, which was kind of highlighting the ecosystem and covering the event. So that was a phenomenal time. And then before I knew it, we were on the other side of town at a hip space, kind of a hip warehouse-style space for the Aptos event. Really cool speakers the entire time. Arthur Hayes, Stanny from Aave, Mo from Aptos. Man, I can't even remember all of the phenomenal speakers that they had at Aptos. But there were also some ecosystem booths, so I want to talk about that. So the first thing I saw when I got in was the Arculus, a representative from Arculus, and he handed me a card, and he said, set this wallet up, and I'll give you free APT tokens. This is the Arculus Aptos wallet. It's an NFC powered card. It's a metal card, feels super luxe black card. It's a metal card that holds all of your wallet info on it. So it took me about 1 minute to set up my wallet. Super easy to set up, and it's a really cool new form factor for crypto wallets. And then I went over and hung out with the Arculus guy who was giving out free APT tokens. So that was really cool, and a cool way to onboard users in a kind of fun gamified way. They were giving out, I think, between 20 and 30 APT tokens. Checking out some booths from cool companies like Toymaker and Arculus, and watching a few panels from the Aptos team, watching Mo speak with Stanny about Aave's deployment on Aptos. It was time to get some interviews done. So I'm going to include a few clips from the interviews, some highlights from the interviews that we did, and some of my thoughts on the interviews right now.
My name is Joseph, and I'm the co-founder of September the Aptos. But I'm more focusing on the game business side and how we are going to adapt the blockchain technology inside the games.
What's your thesis on crypto gaming, and why does crypto and gaming work well together?
I don't really think that earning some token is the exact meaning of the crypto gaming. The crypto gaming or Web3 gaming in general keep changing its meaning from time to time. What we learned while we were working on September the Aptos was we cannot really force people to buy pin brand NFTs to just start a game.
So that was an interview with Supervillain Labs, Joseph from Supervillain Labs, and he's building a gaming platform on Aptos, and their first game is called Supervillain. Next up, we had Merkle Trade, which I'll put on right now.
I'm Ye Park. I'm one of the co-founders of Merkle Trade. I usually do everything from technology, product management to HR.
I'm YK. I lead business and operations at Merkle Trade. I usually support on the non-product aspects, so business, growth, operations, everything.
Why did it come about, and what was the original kind of vision behind that idea?
So we offer leverage trading for crypto assets, Forex, and commodities.
Our core belief is that making directional bets on a volatile asset is enjoyable to everyone.
They are doing really interesting stuff with micro trades, and they're very popular in Korea. They've done over $13 billion in volume and have tons of users. The really interesting part of the conversation with them was their average trade is $2. So the future of crypto is not necessarily whales, but people from emerging markets kind of using these new financial rails to speculate and to potentially make money in the space. So I think it's really cool and really important to realize that you can make a legitimate and profitable business just catering to smaller retail users. And we see that with payment apps and and some of the kind of like micro DeFi service providers focusing on emerging markets, Latin America, Africa. And then we wrapped up for the day. And that night, I went to the Aptos party, but don't have any footage from that. But I will say it was crazy, insane Korean DJ, total Korean party scene, ravers. You gotta go. If you like EDM, you gotta go to Korea. So the next day early, I got a little coffee. And after the coffee, we set up an interview space to interview the Aptos head of ecosystem in Asia Pacific, Jerome, really cool guy, ex-Singapore hedge fundy guy, and crypto convert. And we talked with Bashar, who's originally from Tunisia and is the head of eco at the Aptos Foundation.
There's an order of magnitude larger number of folks that are waiting to get in. But there's sort of this scary point, right? Whether you're already in or you're outside, to cross that make that step, and really take on the time to really immerse yourself, learn, and start putting your ideas to work and execute on them, right? And so for us, it's about making sure that we can really reduce that time to deploying your first contract.
Those guys are so convicted on the space. It was really interested to think about how they're building out an ecosystem, especially in kind of bearish conditions, and how you can pull all kinds of levers, and how basically to not make compromises in ecosystem. So the cool thing about an ecosystem in crypto is it really can have everything. You can have gaming, you can have DeFi, and all of those things kind of interoperate together in a cool way. And I think Bashar thinks about crypto in a ecosystem in a really cool way, where he discusses like the fact that it doesn't need to compromise, and that crypto is an idealistic platform, and it does have stuff for everybody. So really interesting interview with those guys.
It basically just allows people to put assets in a pool, and depending on how much buy pressure or sell pressure there is, the price gets automatically determined.
And then we had one interview left. So there was a panel on DeFi the day before, which was talking about the kind of AMM versus order book debate, which is something I've gotten into a bit on Twitter in the past, but am not that smart on. But I invited Juan David from KeyRock, a market making firm. So he was kind of a pragmatic DeFi just optimist who talked a lot about how DeFi has really already affected the world in ways that we don't even realize yet, including around kind of settlement and stablecoins. But he's kind of a techno optimist and was bullish on AMMs and kind of markets to sort themselves out. While Alex from Iconia was building an order book on Aptos, which is one of the few platforms that he or the only platform really he felt was kind of like technically adequate to build an order book based exchange on. And then lastly, we had Julian from Mirage Protocol, who is building a VAMM based perp dex. So super wide-ranging conversation with them, and that'll be coming out shortly.
It basically just allows people to put assets in a pool, and depending on how much buy pressure or sell pressure there is, the price gets automatically determined.
And that was kind of the end of the conference for me. I had an early flight the next morning, so I didn't get to attend the Aptos after party. But my friend Gigi, the meme coin goddess, says that it was an awesome time, and I wish I could have attended, but had to fly out early the next morning, so wasn't able to attend there. But yeah, that was my event at Aptos. I hope you enjoyed those clips. I'll link all of the podcasts below as they come out. So this month of September and perhaps early October, you should be seeing these come out on the Decipher podcast channel. That was the event. I'm so grateful to Aptos. Camille, huge shout out to Camille, who was kind of my Aptos based handler. Shout out to Aptos for understanding the crypto space to invite KOLs or podcasters that are kind of keyed into the space and really boots on the ground talking to ecosystem projects, thinking about the space in unique ways, and really smart people building on Aptos. The kind of thing that struck me there is, the tech is here. The tech is here on a lot of layer one blockchains. And, now it's up to us to build the future of apps and to kind of onboard real users. So I'm excited and I'm optimistic, and I had a really good time at the event. So thanks to everyone else who was a part of it. Check out all these projects that I've mentioned. I'll link them below, and I'll post them on Twitter and on the main Decipher podcast page. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.